So our main practice is going to be continuing to open up through the side body, because we're going to focus a little bit more still on back bending. And then when we come into back bending, it's really important to have a nice open side body, not just so you have the flexibility, but also so you have something to breathe into. For now, though, we'll just start lying down on our backs. So making your way onto your backs. You can have the feet on the mat with your knees pointing up, or if you prefer, you can have your legs straightened out. You can have your hands on your lower belly. We'll take a couple of moments here to sink into the breath. Your body to sink a little bit into the mat. Morning, Jay. I just connected my AirPods, so I hope you guys can still hear me.
Morning, Is.
And then once you've allowed your body to settle a little bit with your hands on your lower belly, you can start to allow that movement of the breath to create a little bit of space here. We won't spend too long here, just 3 or 4 breaths, just to allow your mind to kind of settle into where it is in this practice. Just reminding yourself that anything that needs to be done or thought about will still be here in 40 minutes time. You can just let it go for now. And then moving your hands up towards the sides of the ribs. So we've done this before. The fingers are at the front, the thumbs are at the back. Shoulders are soft. So make sure you're not allowing any of that tension to creep up towards the neck. And then without forcing it all, but just seeing if you can start to feel how the expansion of the rib cage out to the sides creates this really beautiful lateral expansion, opening up underneath the armpits. And each time you breathe into this area, you're actually stretching a little those intercostal muscles and also the serratus muscles, which strengthen the back but run a little bit to the side body. You know, names you can forget if you're not interested in names, but just know that with each breath, you're also creating space for the next breath. We'll take another 3 or 4 breaths here. And then just releasing your hands beside you, beside the hips. And we'll start to move with the breath in a really gentle way. So on the inhale, lifting your arms up, no weight, no load this morning, just for now, reaching the arms up overhead. And with the exhale, just bringing the hands beside you, feeling how this gives you a really nice little bit of a stretch through the shoulders. You can increase that by really feeling like you're reaching for something when the arms go up overhead, really getting that sense of reach. Doing about 3 more of those in your own time, and you'll start to feel as well that when you move the arms up overhead, you're getting a little bit of a back bend here. See if you can get that back bend, but not allow those lower floating ribs to pop out. Take it in your own time, move with your own breath. Remember, no rush. Gentle opening through the body here. And releasing. Hands beside you once more. And then we'll move to one side at a time. So try and really slow down the breath now as you reach your right fingers away from you and then up overhead. And I want you to imagine your right lung like a balloon. And when that right arm reaches up overhead, the balloon keeps inflating, keeps inflating, keeps inflating until you start to shorten your left side and you're stretching through the right side. And then with the exhale, the right arm again comes beside you. We'll do that a couple more times. Now, this can be a nice time to create that little valve in the back of your throat. So you're getting that oceanic sound, that kind of like Darth Vader ocean sound. And remember, when you reach, you're inflating the balloon. Imagine this balloon under the right armpit, opening up, inflating. And then with the exhale, bringing your right hand beside you again. We'll take about 2 more on this side. Move with your own breath. Really nice. Yeah. So you're actually getting a little bit of a side bend when you come up. Your left side is shortening, your right side is getting longer. Your right fingers might reach over to the left a little as that balloon inflates. And then we'll come to the left side. It's a really good place as well to notice any difference in mobility between both sides. So as you inhale, you're reaching the left arm up overhead. Really imagine that balloon that is the left lung is opening, it's inflating, and your right side shortens. Your left fingers maybe reach to the right a little, and then with the exhale, the hand, the arm comes back down beside you. Taking a couple more of those with your own breath. So when the left arm reaches up and over, your left side gets a little longer. See if you can really imagine that balloon opening up, inflating. Really nice. Move with your own breath. And we'll do one more of those on this side. Bring your hands beside you once more. And this time we're going to add our load. So again, we're coming into more back bending today. And as we've been stressing, the core is super important. So now grab your big goat, your big child, or whatever animal works for you, lift it up and notice now what's happening in the core, in the lower back. Can you keep a bit more stabilization? Gently allow the animal to touch the floor behind you and then really softly place it back down on your lap again. Once more without load and once more with. So inhale, lift the arms up, no load. You're not holding anything, you're reaching the arms up. Feel what's happening in the floating ribs. If you want, you can quickly bring one hand down. They might just be popping out. See if you can bring them together and then release the hands back down one more time here with load. Starting to connect to this deeper, more functional core. So the core that we train less with weight and more with stability training. And bringing your arms beside you. As you do so now, drawing your knees in, right hand on your right knee, left hand on your left knee. Gently allowing your knees to sway a little left to right, maybe drawing some circles, massaging out the lower back. Noticing how the lower back feels here, connecting to this place where the spine roots into the pelvis. Taking your circles the other way if you haven't already. And then with your knees in towards your chest, we're going to exhale, draw them in, and then rock yourself up, maybe 3 times. So you're getting this nice massage down the whole spine. And the third time, we're coming into a little bit of core here in our Navasana. So you can keep your hands beside you or underneath the knees, I should say. Otherwise, we're going to come into a little bit of side core. So reaching the arms forward, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bring both arms towards the left. So you're pressing your right forearm into your left leg here. Make sure you're not rounding through the upper back. Try and open. Take an inhale. We're going to move with the breath. Exhale to the other side. Couple of breaths here. Keep the legs strong. If it's ever too much, just keep your hands beside you for a moment. Take another inhale. Exhale to move. Inhale, breathe into those side ribs. Exhale to move. Inhale to side ribs. Once more on each side. Nice. Move with your own breath. Keep squeezing in between the knees and release. Bring your knees in towards you for a moment. Allow your hip flexors to release by swaying yourself a little, soften through the belly. And then we'll roll our way forwards onto hands and knees. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the sitting bones, fingers gently spread. And as you come into your cat-cows, wait for your next inhale, put your tailbone up, arching the spine, gently gazing forward. Exhale to round. And as you do this, when you inhale, see if you can breathe into the side ribs. So remember when your hands were, when we were lying down onto your back, and those balloons left and right, then we were inflating with our really gentle side bending on the back. See if you can stay with that sensation. So you're opening up into the side body, these 2 beautiful balloons that open up to the side. And by opening up into the side, you can keep a little bit of tone through the front body and still have a deep breath. We'll take one more cycle here. Reaching your right leg out behind you, coming into a stable, steady spine. We're going to do a bit of core here. Your left arm stays on the mat for now. Core and a little bit of hip work. So pressing on the inhale, and then exhale, draw your right knee tight in towards your nose, around your spine. Listen carefully. Inhale, draw your right knee out to the side. Exhale, rotate the right foot up, so you're getting internal rotation. And then inhale, kick that right foot up, so you're getting a little bit of glute work. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bend that right knee in towards your nose. Inhale out to the side, adduction. Exhale, press that right foot up to center. Inhale to lift and kick. One more time with your own breath. Don't worry if you don't get the breath. Just focus on the movement. So focus on externally rotating, internally rotating, and kicking up. And then reach your right leg out. Gently place your toes on the mat. And just for a moment, we're going to open up through that calf. So just shifting your weight forwards and back here. Maybe you're feeling it a little bit in the hamstring as well. And then just allowing your right heel to come to the mat. For more stability, you can swing your left leg out behind you for more of a balanced kind of challenge. You keep your left toes pointing towards that heel. Press your left hand down and inhale, reaching your right fingertips up. So we're going to come into a little bit more side bending. Press the left hand and both legs down to open up. And then with your next inhale, reaching your right fingertips all the way towards the front of the room. So you're getting this really deep opening through the right side of the body. And we're going to move with the breath here to open up through the shoulders and the side body. So inhale here. And then as always, you exhale to move. So coming through center, right hand now comes onto that straightened right leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Inhale to stay. Exhale to move. So you can take it in your own time. Right fingers reaching, inhale. And then use your core a little bit on the exhale to help you move through center. Inhale to stay. We're going to do one more on each side. Nice. Moving with the exhale, reaching with the inhale. Focusing on that side body, side lung breathing. Beautiful. Nice. And then exhale, just cartwheel the arms back down to the mat. Coming back onto hands and knees, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the sitting bones. And then again, take a moment, stabilize through the spine, and then reach this time your left leg out and back. Press through the left heel, inhale, and then exhale, round through the spine as you draw that left knee in. Inhale, draw the knee out to the side. Exhale, foot points up. Inhale as you kick, and lengthen again. Exhale, left knee draws in round the spine. Inhale out to the side. Rotate this foot up, bring it back, and extend on the inhale. Nice, one more time. Don't worry too much about the breath. It's a little bit complicated here on the movement. Just focus on trying to keep your right hip stable. So we're doing some deep stabilization of the hips here. And then when you finish your last round, you keep that left leg straight and you just drop those left toes down to the mat. Keeping that left leg straight, just shift your weight forwards and back. So you should feel a really nice stretch here along the back of the left calf, maybe the hamstring. And then I'm just going to swivel around so you can see me. Dropping your left heel down. You can keep your right toes pointing towards the heel, or you can swivel them back. Press your right hand down. Inhale, reaching the left fingertips up. Take a moment, exhale, press to reach. And then inhale, lifting your left fingers beside your ear. Exhale to move, coming through center, don't rush. So you're stabilizing here as well. And then inhale to open to the right side. Exhale to move. Inhale to open. Nice, we'll do a couple more of those, just moving with your own breath. I'm just going to see if everyone's got it. Nice. Yes. Really nice. So the more you slow down the transition, the more you're working your stabilizing muscles. And then the next time both hands come down, take your time. We're going to come into a little bit of a longer tabletop and going to come into our half plank. So shifting your shoulders on top of your wrists, those are, and your hips in line with your shoulders and your knees. So today we're going to start working with the Chaturanga and Up-Dog transition. Really important to have a nice long side body. That's why we've been opening that up. So for Chaturanga, here's what happens. Your elbow creases these bits face forward. And then your elbows hug into your body. Your shoulders come away from the ears, and you're only going to lower until your elbows and your upper body are in one line. So we'll do that 2 times here. Inhale, exhale, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale to press 1 more time. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in, and inhale to press. Nice. Now to come into the transition, I'll show you it on the toes, but you don't have to do it on the toes if you don't want. Again, you're exhaling, you're squeezing the elbows in, and then on the inhale, you roll and you pull your chest forward between the upper arms. So choose if you want to come from the knees or the toes. Inhale first. Exhale to lower, and then we've been practicing our up dog. So remember, you lift the legs on the up dog. Nice. And then exhale, press your hands down, come into your downward facing dog. First one of the day, so take any movements that you like. You can walk out your legs a little. Shaking out the head maybe. So as we start to work with our Updog Chaturanga to Updog transition, even if you're bringing the knees down when you're coming into Chaturanga, it's really important to lift them again when you're coming into your Updog. And if you feel like you're losing strength, then just come back to the transition we've been working on over the past weeks, where you come all the way down to the mat and then come into a small cobra. Taking another inhale here in your downward facing dog. And then exhale, very gently walking your feet towards your hands. Take a moment here, releasing through the spine. You might bring your hands into your elbow creases. Allow the head to hang heavy. You can shake a little through the head or shake through the body. Remember, it's really nice to keep the knees really bent here, especially at the start of class. Take another 3 breaths. And then releasing your hands down to the mat once more. On your inhale, coming halfway up, shoulder blades down and back. Exhale to soften. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to soften 1 more time. Take your time. Inhale halfway. And exhale to soften down. Press your heels down. Keep the knees gently bent. And really slowly take your time as you roll your way up. Finding your Tadasana, knees softly bent, lengthen the spine, palms of the hands opening up and feel your shoulder blades coming together when you do that. Steady the gaze, soften the shoulders. And then we're going to start moving with the breath. So remember, each time we incorporate now Chaturanga and Updog, it is optional. You might take it always, never. You might just see how you're feeling each day. Exhale, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, keep that bend in the knees as the fingers come down. Inhaling, halfway lift, shoulder blades down and back. Exhale, float your right foot a large step behind you. Taking an inhale here, take your time. Exhale to plank. So remember, this bit is optional. We'll stay in plank just for a moment or two. You can just come all the way down to the mat and take the baby cobra. We've been practicing this. Or on your next exhale, squeeze the elbows in on toes or knees, come halfway down, and then pull your chest forward on the inhale up dog, knees off the mat. And then exhale through pressing your hands away, you reach the hip creases up and back. Take a moment. Smooth out the breath. So it can take a little bit of time. It's a really specific type of shoulder strength, I find, and also you need like a specific type of mobility in the shoulders. So once you feel like you're collapsing into it, then just come back down to the mat and maybe practice again, once or twice each time you come into practice. Inhale, lifting your right leg up behind you. Exhale, draw the right knee tight in towards your nose, softly placing that right foot down. Take an inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhaling, halfway lift.
Exhale to fold, press the heels down. Inhale, reaching the fingertips up. Exhale, hands through center. Second side, inhale to reach. Exhale, soft bend in the knees as you fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, float your left foot a large step behind you. Take your time. Inhale here. Exhale to plank. Another breath or two in plank. As I just go over one more thing, whether you're on the toes or the knees, people tend to dip the chest first. But instead, when you're coming into Chaturanga, think about lowering the hips first and then the chest. Nice. Exhale, coming down. And then inhale, Up-Dog. Remember, lift the knees. Exhale, press the hands down and away. Reach your sitting bones up and back. Take your time. Remember, child's pose is always there if you need it. Really nice form from everyone. Remember to roll your shoulders out. On your next inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, draw your left knee tight to your nose, softly placing the left foot down. Take an inhale. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Press the heels down firmly. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, hands through center. Nice. We're going to add on a little bit now. Inhale to reach. Take your time. Exhale to fold. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale, reach the sternum forward as you come halfway up. And then exhale, floating your right foot a large step behind you. Take an inhale. Exhale to plank. Just one inhale and plank. And remember your options. Full Chaturanga, half Chaturanga, or coming all the way down to the mat. On your inhale, you choose your back bend. And then on your exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog, whatever that looks like. Nice. So it's better to be practicing one or two Chaturangas really well every practice than practicing 4 and collapsing into the shoulders. On your next inhale, reaching your right leg up behind you, listen carefully. Exhale, draw your right knee towards your right armpit, and then softly step your right foot outside that right hand. Take a moment here in this low lizard. We're just breaking it up with a bit of a hip opener. Shift your weight forwards and back. Knock off a bit of that rust. And then press your left hand down firmly. Inhale, reaching your right fingertips up, a little bit of a twist. If it feels okay for the neck, you can be gazing at that right thumb. Press the left hand down to get more lift. Inhale. And then exhale, drop your right hand back down. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, take as many steps as you need to step that left foot outside of the left hand. Exhale, drop the hips down. Just a moment in our Malasana, Yogic Squat. Hands together, elbows into knees, knees into elbows. Inhale. And then exhale as you press the hips up, heel toe the feet together. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, press the heels down. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, hands through center. Final side here. Inhale to reach, take your time. Exhale, soft bend in the knees as you fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, float your left foot behind you. Take an inhale. Exhale to plank. One inhale and plank, and then choose how you're going to flow. So you can take a Chaturanga. Maybe you're coming all the way down and taking a baby Cobra. And then with your exhale, you just make your way back into your downward facing dog. Remember, child's pose is always an option. And also just skipping a flow is a really good option sometimes if you're feeling a little tired in the shoulders or in the back. On your next inhale, reaching your left leg up behind you. Exhale, draw your left knee tight in towards your left armpit, and then softly stepping your left foot outside of your left hand. You can help it with your hand a little bit if you need to. Take a moment here in your low lizard. You can shift your weight forwards and back a little. So we're opening up through the left glute and the right hip flexor here. And then with your right hand in center, exhale, engage the core. Inhale, reach the left fingertips up. Press down through the right hand so you can reach even more. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down. And then take as many steps as you need. Take your time to bring that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Your toes might just be off the mat, your heels just on. Palms of the hands pressing together, elbows pressing into the knees, shoulder blades down and back. Long through the spine, inhale. Exhale as you reach the hip creases up, heel toe the feet together, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, press your heels down, inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, hands through center. Stay here or bring the hands beside you. You might close down the eyes if you like. And then notice where your attention is first drawn to. Might be your circulation or your breath. Maybe some tingling or some heat. And then see if you can expand your attention once more. So you're conscious of every sensation equally, or at least every sensation without judgment in your perception. Take a few more breaths here. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Be long in the spine. And then exhale, fingers down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, just step your feet back into your downward facing dog for a moment. This is our last active downward facing dog. We're going to come down after this, do some stretching and then some more deeper back bending on the back. So while you're here, you might like to make some movements, or you might like to be in stillness and really press the hands away so you're lengthening the spine once more. Maybe you like to shake out the head. Taking one more inhale. And then soft exhale as you drop the knees down. And then just swiveling your legs out in front of you. And we'll come into this wide sit, Upavisa Konasana. Now, I really recommend if you have your pillow that you, which I don't have, but I'll just show you with a blanket. A blanket is a really good option too, that you either come to sit on the edge of your pillow or on the edge of your blanket. So my blanket now is here. And this helps you to get that little bit of a tilt in the pelvis. So instead of, I'll just show you, so instead of with tight hamstrings really having to kind of slouch in the back and really having to work to bring it up, when you get that little bit of a tilt, you get a bit of help and you can get your curve back into your lower spine. If it's still tricky for you to feel that curve, I recommend just keeping the arms behind you. If you can feel that curve in your lower back, then you might bring your hands forward. But we're keeping it pretty active here. So instead of collapsing into it, try and keep your collarbones broad, shoulder blades down and back. So you're almost like smiling forwards with your collarbones. You can bring your chin in slightly, keep the feet active. And then just letting your breath and letting time do its thing. Softness through the jaw. We'll take about 3 or 4 more breaths here. And it's definitely fine to have the knees a bit bent as well, I should say. And then we're going to come into a bit more side bending. So if you came forward, just bringing yourself up once more. And then bending the left knee and placing the sole of the left foot towards the inner right thigh. Now, if you have another blanket or another bit of something, whatever it is, clothing to bring underneath that left knee, then that can be a nice option. It helps you to be able to ground through both legs. And then just shifting your body to face towards the straight leg, the right leg. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, feel that length in the spine, and then exhale as you fold forward, just allowing your hands to drop wherever they drop. So we're not pulling, we're not forcing it into the back. We're keeping the back nice and long, neutral, and the movement a little bit soft. You'll notice it first of all in your hands, at least I often do if I'm trying to pull myself into it or grasp, the fingers tend to tense up a little. Same thing here, we'll take about 3 or 4 breaths. We're going to come into our deepest side body opening so far. So you can either place your right forearm on this leg as a little bit of a shelf, or you can place your right forearm just in front of this leg on the floor if it reaches it. And then on an inhale, reaching your left arm up and over, getting that really nice deep stretch here. Make sure you're not coming into a back bend, but you're not rounding through the spine either. So you're really thinking about bending this side body from the left hip crease all the way towards the left fingertips. And this again is where we're filling that balloon on the left side now. That balloon that we felt right at the start of class, expanding on the inhale, contracting a little on the exhale. We'll take one more deep inhale here, and then exhale into center. Just as an intermezzo, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So lots of nice hip opening as well this morning. So again, a couple of options. You can have your hands behind you to help you keep that length in the spine, or you can bring your fingers, your hands towards your feet, or something which I was practicing was placing your hands underneath your shins, which is really nice because then you can kind of almost press your shins down into your hands, but pull back a little bit as well. So you've got this really active stretch. And again, active length is much more functional than passive length. Make sure though, if you're using the arms, that you're not allowing it to creep into the shoulders. So maybe you shrug them up once, feel what that feels like, and then allow them to release. Take another inhale here. And exhale, we come to the other side. So left leg reaches out, sole of the right foot comes somewhere in the region of the left inner thigh. Again, you can have a prop under your right knee or underneath your sitting bones, or both is ideal. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. And then exhale, fold forward and just allow the hands to drop wherever they drop. No pulling, no grasping, no reaching. I know it's so tempting in these ones. Try and stay long through the spine and strong through that left leg. Notice where your attention is. And this is a nice place to draw the attention back to the breath. And then lifting yourself up slightly. Again, bringing the left forearm either to rest on that left leg with the elbow crease pointing up, or bringing that left forearm just on the inside there. And then inhale, reaching your right fingertips up and over, coming into this really deep side bend. Keep reaching through the right fingers, but softening through the area of the neck. We'll take another 2 or 3 breaths here. Really deep side bend. One more inhale, feel that balloon of the right lung expand it out on the inhale. And then exhale, coming into center. Just drawing your knees in towards you. And we're going to roll right onto our back. So find your way back onto the center of your mat. Feet on the mat, knees pointing up, and just allow your legs to sway a little so you're releasing. So we just really stretch the back body as well in that forward fold. So you might feel it a little bit here. Just releasing everything that we've been activating and stretching. Nice. And then again, with the heels underneath the knees, hands beside you, palms of the hands facing down. We're going to come into one bridge, and then we're going to have the option to go into a deeper back bend. So when we're coming into a bridge, you're really thinking about this wave-like motion, peeling the spine off the mat. So first, to do that, you have to exhale and press the lower back into the mat, and then starting with the tailbone, and then really slowly, as though you were lifting one vertebrae up off the mat at a time, coming into your bridge. When you're in your bridge, I want you to bring the palms of your hands up for a moment and notice how this gives you more surface area of the shoulders on the mat. It gives you more to press against. See if you can keep that and then just bring the palms of the hands down, and then maybe you're interlacing the fingers, but see if you can do all of that with the same amount of surface area of the shoulders, so you can really press down to lift. We always need to be pressing something down to lift something else. Pressing the heels down as well, reaching through the knees. We'll take another 2 breaths here. Really expanding beautifully into those balloons on the side here, but keeping the front floating ribs knitting in. One more inhale. Exhale, release the arms if you interlaced, and then very slowly. So opposite of what we did when we came up, 1 vertebrae at a time back down. Tailbone is the last thing to reach. Bring your feet a little wider for a moment, knees together, hands on the belly, feel the breath. So again, option means option, and the option now is to come into a deeper back bend. If you know what you're doing, you don't have to watch me. If you need a little bit of a visual cue, I will demo it once. We're coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. So you're pressing your lower back down into your back, into the mat again, and then lifting again, first into bridge, that's important. Then you're placing your hands beside your head with your fingertips pointing towards your shoulders. You exhale to press the heels down and lift the head first. I like to come up onto the head first. It just gives you a little bit of more stability, and then you're pressing the hands down. And then you're working towards straightening out the legs and the arms, but that takes time. So maybe all you're doing today is just coming up onto the head, staying there for a moment, and then coming back down. Don't worry if it's not working. It takes time. It requires a really particular type of shoulder strength and a really particular type of shoulder mobility. I'll just give you about another half a minute to play around with that if you want. Remember, no pressure. If you're not happy there, you can just instead bring the feet mat distance apart and allow the knees to drop together. Or come into a regular bridge. So when you come up, think about pressing the heels away and into the mat to help you come up. Very nice. And then we'll all meet again on our backs with the feet about mat distance apart, knees falling in towards each other, hand on your lower belly, hand on your lower ribs. And then just let that go, whether that was new for you or not. We'll come into it a couple more times. But whether it's something you're working towards or not, it's totally irrelevant. Remember, the postures are just ways for us to visit ourselves. If you like, you can allow the knees to drop a little left to right now. And then whenever your lower back feels happy again, you can draw your knees in towards your chest. Left hand on your left knee, right hand on your right knee. Maybe you're drawing some circles with the knees together. You've circled a couple of times one way, circling the other way. We did this at the start of class, so it's nice to just notice any difference in sensation that you come across. And then as always, final few moments are yours. So do what you want. Don't do what you don't want. But whatever you do or do not do, do it from a place of feeling alive, present within your own body. Only you can be fully present in the physical sensations. And then whenever you're ready, but no rush at all, we'll come to lie down on our backs. Palms of the hands are facing up, feet might be falling out. As always, if you prefer to end seated, seated is a nice way to end too. So you can gently make your way up to seated. If you're doing so, make sure you're supporting your hips with a pillow wherever you are. Closing down the eyes or keeping them a tiny little bit open. Allowing the area of the forehead to soften. Allowing the jaw to relax. Allowing the tongue to soften within the mouth. Length of the arms and length of the legs to be felt and to be heavy. Just about 9 o'clock now in Amsterdam time, so if you need to roll your way out, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll stay for another 2 minutes or so. See if you can soften enough through the chest and the belly so that you can receive that breath. Deep down, maybe even in the pelvic floor. I'd like to end our Shavasana with a really short poem by the poet Rumi. It's called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably, for he may be clearing you out for some new delight. You can slowly start to deepen the breath. Bringing some small movements into the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Maybe rolling your head around. Sometimes it's nice on an inhale to open once more, so you're reaching your arms up, toes away, fill the body with the breath. And then exhale, you can draw your knees in towards you. And then rolling over to one side. Spending a moment there. And then whenever you're ready, coming up to sit. You can keep your hands down in your lap, or you can bring them up. Take a final moment. Maybe you'd like to thank yourself for having taken this time. And in any case, I'd like to thank you all for coming to practice with me again this morning. Namaste.